Hey everyone, welcome back to Kindness Stories, the place where we believe that a single act of courage and kindness can change lives forever. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if it touches your heart, and share it with someone who needs to hear this story today. Let's dive right in. It all began in a small town where a shy girl named Emily lived with her grandmother. Emily was only 15, but she had learned early on that life wasn't always kind of quiet. She loved reading, drawing, and sitting by the river behind her grandmother's house. Her mother had passed away when she was 8, and her father had walked out long before that. Her grandmother was the only family she had left, and the two of them were each other's entire world. Emily had always been small for her age and soft-spoken. At school, that made her an easy target. There were a few boys who never missed an opportunity to mock her. They would steal her books, toss her backpack into the mud, whisper mean things as she walked by. At first, she tried to ignore them. She thought if she pretended not to care, they'd get bored. But instead, it only made them worse. One winter morning, when snow blanketed the town in a white hush, Emily trudged to school with her scarf pulled tight around her face. She held her books close, hoping maybe today would be different. But as she rounded the corner behind the gym, she found herself face to face with the three boys who made her life miserable. Hey, look who it is, said Jake, the leader of the pack, his grin wide and mean. Where you off to, mouse? Library? Gonna hide behind your books again? Emily clutched her books tighter and tried to step around them. One of the boys stuck out his foot and tripped her. Her books scattered, pages fluttering like wounded birds. She scrambled to gather them, her gloves soaking up the cold snow. Look at her, muttered Chris, another boy. Thinks she's too good to talk to us. Leave me alone, Emily whispered, but her voice was lost in the wind. Jake grabbed the collar of her coat and yanked her to her feet. You think you're better than us, he snarled, his breath a puff of steam. Maybe we should teach you some respect. Emily's heart pounded. She felt her knees go weak. She'd been bullied before, but this felt different. There was something dark in Jake's eyes, something that made her stomach twist. He pulled her closer, his hand tightening on her collar. In that moment, something snapped inside Emily. Maybe it was the memory of her grandmother's gentle voice, always telling her she was braver than she knew. Maybe it was the months of fear bottled up like a storm. Or maybe it was the fact that 2 weeks ago, her grandmother had signed her up for a local judo class, hoping she'd find confidence. She'd only been to 3 lessons. She wasn't any good yet, but she remembered what her coach had said. When you're in trouble, use their force against them. It's not about being stronger. It's about being smart. Jake didn't see it coming. Emily twisted her body, dropping her weight just the way her coach had shown her. She grabbed Jake's wrist, turned, and flipped him over her shoulder. He hit the snow with a dull thud, air whooshing from his lungs. The other boys froze. Emily's chest heaved. She didn't feel scared anymore. She felt awake. Chris lunged at her. She sidestepped, grabbed his arm, and hooked her foot behind his ankle. He went down hard. The last boy hesitated, eyes wide, before backing away. Jake groaned on the ground. Emily picked up her books, her hands trembling, but her spine straight. She didn't say a word. She didn't need to. She walked away, leaving them sprawled in the snow. Word spread through the school like wildfire. The shy girl who never spoke up had taken down 3 bullies in the blink of an eye. At first, some kids laughed about it. Others called her a hero. Emily didn't care what they called her. For the first time, she felt something she hadn't felt in years. Powerful. But that was just the beginning. The principal called her into the office. Her grandmother was summoned. She sat in the stiff chair across from the principal, bracing for punishment. But instead, the principal leaned forward and said, Emily, I heard what happened. I want you to know you're not in trouble. We've been aware of these boys for some time. We're going to deal with them properly now. Emily's grandmother squeezed her hand. You were brave. Sweetheart, she whispered. I'm proud of you. Walking home that day, Emily felt a warmth in her chest that even the biting wind couldn't touch. She wasn't just a victim anymore. She was someone who could stand up for herself. The next judo class felt different too. Her coach clapped her on the shoulder when she told him what happened. That's what it's for, Emily, he said. Not to hurt people, but to protect yourself. and maybe someday to protect others too. Months passed. Emily grew stronger. Her confidence bloomed like spring flowers after a long frost. She made new friends in her judo class, kids who cheered her on, who knew what it was like to feel small and overlooked. She started helping teach the younger kids, showing them how to break free from holds, how to fall safely, how to get back up. Her bullies never bothered her again. Jake transferred schools. Chris tried to apologize once, stammering out excuses. Emily listened, nodded, and walked away. She didn't need revenge. She'd already won. By the end of the school year, Emily wasn't the shy girl anymore. She still loved books and quiet afternoons by the river. But she also loved the feeling of moving her body with purpose, of knowing that if someone tried to hurt her again, she wouldn't freeze. She would fight back. Then something unexpected happened. One evening, after judo practice, her coach pulled her aside. Emily, he said, "There's a tournament coming up in the city. I think you should enter." Me, Emily squeaked. She still struggled to see herself the way others did. You've got what it takes, he said with a grin. And I think you've got something those other kids don't. Heart. Emily talked it over with her grandmother. They didn't have much money, but her grandmother insisted they'd find a way. So they did. They sold old books, did odd jobs for neighbors. The town rallied around her too. The librarian donated a few dollars. The owner of the local diner held a bake sale. When the day of the tournament came, Emily felt like her whole town was cheering her on. She stood on the mat, facing girls bigger and stronger than she was. The crowd roared. Emily could feel her heart hammering, but she remembered her coach's words. It's not about being stronger, it's about being smart. One match after another, she found her rhythm. She used her opponent's momentum, flipped them, pinned them. She lost one round, but came back stronger in the next. When she won the final match, she didn't even hear the crowd at first. She just stood there, panting, looking at her hands, realizing what she'd done. The trophy wasn't the biggest in the world, but to Emily, it might as well have been solid gold. She held it tight all the way home, her grandmother beside her. On the bus, both of them grinning so wide their cheeks hurt. When she got back to school, people treated her differently. They weren't scared of her, they respected her. Kids who used to look through her like she was invisible now waved at her in the halls. Some even asked her for help, advice, or just to sit with them at lunch. Emily never let it go to her head. She knew what it felt like, to be alone, to be small. So she made it her mission to look out for other kids like her, the quiet ones, the outcasts, the dreamers who hid behind books and long walks by the river. She started an after-school self-defense club. At first, only a handful of kids showed up, but word spread and soon they needed a bigger space. Emily and her coach volunteered their time. They taught kids how to break free, how to stand tall, and most importantly, how to believe in themselves. One day, a new girl joined the class. She was tiny, with big eyes that darted nervously around the room. Emily recognized that look all too well. After practice, Emily sat beside her. "You did great today," she said. The girl shrugged. "I'm not strong like you." Emily smiled. "I wasn't always strong either, but you don't have to be the strongest. You just have to know you can fight for yourself. And trust me, you can." The girl looked at her, hope flickering in her eyes. Emily saw herself in that flicker, the shy girl who'd once trembled in the snow behind the gym. Years passed. Emily graduated high school and went to college. She studied social work because she wanted to help kids like her. She never stopped practicing judo. She competed when she could, but teaching was what she loved most. She opened her own dojo in the town where she'd grown up, the same town that had once felt so small and cruel. Now it was home. Her grandmother came to every tournament, every class demonstration. She sat in the front row, her eyes shining with pride. Sometimes Emily would stand by the river behind her grandmother's house, watching the water flow past. She'd think about her mother, about the bullies who'd once made her dread waking up, about the day she found her courage. She'd smile and whisper thank you to the world. Thank you for giving her the strength to fight back and the kindness to lift others up. And so the shy girl who once hid behind books became a hero, not because she broke her bully's grip, but because she broke the chains that fear had wrapped around her heart. She taught others to do the same, one quiet, powerful lesson at a time. Asterisk, 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 asterisk.